Hi everyone, this is Caroline Speaks, The State of Our World on Sunday, September 20th, 2020. Well, what is it? I guess we'll have to find out, see what we can find out here. Now, the coronavirus is still with us. As of earlier this evening, we had 6,824,222 confirmed cases in the United States, and 200,673 people who have passed away from this virus. A real tragedy because the President, Trump, refused to acknowledge his existence and somehow acting like the occult leader has convinced his followers to go along with him. The virus is a hoax, doesn't exist. The fatalities have been greatly exaggerated. The number of cases have been greatly exaggerated. People don't believe it. Well, I have a cousin who got the virus a few months ago and did not survive. Then I have a niece who got the virus and is in recovery. So it's real. It's not fake news. It's a respiratory disease. It spreads through the air. Also, you touch something, you have it, you spread it around. So it's by touch and it's by ear. Air, A-I-R. So you have to wear that mask. You have to practice social distancing. You have to only go out when you need to, because otherwise you're going to give that disease to someone else. It might be someone you care about. So you need to do this. Practice social distancing, wear that a mask, and only go out when you have to. Like to go to the grocery store, or the drugstore, or the doctor. Don't go out unless you need to. 200,673 fatalities is not a joke, it's not fake news, it's not a hoax. And 6,824,222 confirmed cases in the U.S. is not a hoax, it's not fake news. It's real. Maybe it hasn't affected you personally, but it's affected a lot of people. We've lost a lot of healthcare workers, essential workers, first responders, and teachers to this virus, and farm workers. So that's real. And we don't even know the true total of those who have been lost to the virus because without testing, we don't really know how many people have the virus and if they pass away without knowing they had the virus, and maybe just handled as a fatality, not necessarily related to the virus. That's why I have to test everyone. And if you have the virus, trace your contacts. And if any of your contacts test positive, trace their contacts. Anyone who tests positive, let's get them isolated, let's get them cured. This is not a joke, people. The disease could kill you or someone you care about. So get real. Trump keeps pushing the stock market as a measure of the success of his administration. Well, most people do not have own stock. They do not have investments. They do not have investments in the stock market. People have lost jobs and they've lost money because of this virus, and some have lost homes. They're trying to keep everybody housed by preventing evictions and foreclosures, but we do have some greedy landowners and landlords and mortgage holders who don't really care. Actually, there is a ballot measure in California about rent control, and some big landlords are really fighting that. Have to see what happens. So, the virus is real. The flu season is upon us. We can put them together, and we can have a disaster. There is no vaccine. There is no cure. There are treatments. Some treatments that have worked. But the best treatment, to wear a mask, practice social distancing, and only go out when you have to. We're still waiting for that personal protective equipment to arrive, wherever it's needed for all individuals, and healthcare workers, and we still need that hospital equipment like ventilators and respirators, air and short supplies, tests. Well, there are a shortage of tests, so really need to step up the action. Essential workers, if you think this disease only affects people who are not white, well, you're wrong. It's affecting a lot of white people. We got the president of Brazil, Bolsonaro. He doesn't care about disease because he thinks it's only affecting the indigenous people in Brazil. Well, the indigenous people, that country is theirs. They own the land. So Bolsonaro is bad. So we have a lot of people like that. We have the leader of, Turkey and Russia. Oh, and Israel. They're not taking the leaders aren't taking the virus seriously. They're having real problems with this virus. And there are people living in Israeli-controlled areas, like in the West Bank and Gaza, especially in Gaza since it's so overcrowded. They're having problems with the virus. So don't tell me the virus is... Okay, in order to protect everyone, practice that social distancing, etc., and only go when you have to. Well, schools should not reopen until it's safe to do so. And there's probably no school district in the country that has the space and the money to do all these things needed to have a safe school opening. And what if someone gets the virus? Then you have to shut down that school. You can't just shut down the classroom. The whole school gets shut down. So the best thing is to provide all students with all the technology and equipment they need to do virtual learning at home. They'll also need access to high-speed internet so they can do their assignments. And that's the way it should be. Now, and then it's where parents come in to help out their children. What would work really well if we had a national income provided to every household, so they can provide housing, food, and health care to their family and stay home and stay safe. Going to a sports game is dumb because the teammates, they're there, they're working closely together, even though there's no one in the audience. It's ridiculous. You shouldn't be having sports teams play. Also, the rallies that Trump has been having, the people are very close together, and mostly no masks are in sight. So there's definitely no social distancing, and all the things he goes to, he doesn't wear a mask, and his advisors do not wear a mask. And then when he has a rally where he's up talking on a stage or something, he's isolated, he's social distant. But the people who go to see him, they're not. So I'm waiting to see what's going to come out in the news about how many of these people are getting the virus. You get the virus and they spread it. Like there was a motorcycle gathering in Sturgis, I think it's in South Dakota, and there have been many people from that rally who got the virus and they went home and they spread it. So it's very simple. Wear a mask, practice social distancing, only go out when you have to. And that's the way it is. The vaccine is a long way off, and it might not be totally effective, and vaccines work differently on different people. You may need multiple doses. So, wear that mask, practice social distancing, only go out when you have to. And remember, the election is coming up in November. Register to vote. If you're not registered, get an absentee ballot and get it returned as soon as possible so your vote will count. Learn about the issues and the candidates on your ballot and vote. vote as an informed person. Because the people who are elected make decisions that will affect your life, possibly for a very long time. So, that being said, make sure you protect the vulnerables among us, the homeless, whether in shelters or on the streets, the farm workers, the agricultural workers, the essential workers, the healthcare workers, the healthcare workers, essential workers, frontline responders, first responders, and those in detention centers, jails, and prisons. You know those jails and prisons and detention centers, then not all of them are run by the U.S. government. Some of them are paid by the U.S. government. They're owned by corporations, and they're paid by the U.S. government. So it's in their interest to keep those places filled to capacity so they earn their money. So, and those people in close proximity, they're getting the virus. So, that being said, maybe it's time for a little song. So, I think we're going to sing, what we're going to sing today. Okay. How about, well, I don't know. An old song called 500 Miles. If you miss the train I'm on, you'll know that I am gone. For I'm 500 miles away from home. 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. Lord, I'm 500 miles away from home. Not a shirt on my back, not a penny to my name. Lord, I can't go on home this away, this away, this away, this away, this away. Lord, I can't go on home this away. Okay, that song is 500 Miles. Hope you liked it. Thank you for tuning in this evening, Sunday, September 20th, 2020, for a meeting of Carolyn Speaks, The State of the World. Hope you'll be back tomorrow for another meeting. And stay safe, take care of yourself, take care of others. And remember, kindness goes a very long way. Kindness goes a long way. Thank you. Good night.